Hello teachers, my name is Chenzhou Yanglei. Next, my team members and I will introduce the pedagogy theories we have learned this semester. Let me introduce my team. Chen Yingjia is talk about the behaviorist. Wang Congcong is talk about cognitivist. Chenzhou Yanglei is me, is the Constructivism speaker. Lu Wanyi is talk about humanist. Chen Jingjiang is speaker on Confucian educational thought. Each section will be discussed in 3 parts. Overview of educational theory, and now I would like to introduce the first speaker, Chen Yingjia.
Hello teachers, my name is Chen Yingjia. Today I talk about the behaviorism. Behaviorism is a series about how we learn and change our behavior. It focuses on the idea states or behaviorisms are learned through the environment. In short, we learn new behaviorisms or trends or ones through the connections between a stimulus and the response. Let me explain the key concepts of behaviorism. The first concept is the stimulus. A stimulus is something in the environment that causes a reaction. For example, if someone clasps their hands, the sound is the stimulus, and you might turn your head to see who clasps. The second concept is the response. The response is the reaction to a stimulus. If you hear a loud noise and feel scared, you feel it responds to the noise. The third case, the reinforcements. Reinforcements make something happen after a behaviorism to make it noise likely to happen again. There are 2 types of the reinforcements, positive and negative. Positive reinforcement is the giving a reward, like giving a children's candies for the finished homework. Negative the reinforcements, making the moving something unplaced, like turn off around alarm when you get up of bed. Finally, there is the conditioning. Conditioning is the process of the learning. There are the connections between the stimulus and the response. For example, in classical conditioning, a dog may learn to associate the sound of a bed with food, and it starts stimulate when it hears the bed. Okay, next. Pavlov was a Russian physiologist, known for his disguise of the classical conditioning. In his famous experiments, it ran a bed whenever he fed a dog. Over time, the dogs began salivating at the sound of the bed, even without food, demonstrate learned association. Teachers can create an environment where students are motivated and engaged through the positive associations, making the learning more enjoyable and effective. Dyck was an American physiologist, known from his trial and errors learning the experiment. In the experiment, a cat learned to open the case to get food. The cat's behaviors improve over time through the imitations and the rewards, showing how action can become better through practice. It can use it in teaching by allowing students to practice the test and learn from their mistakes. Teachers can prove the rework when students improve, encourages them to keep training and get better over time. Skinner was an American physiologist who developed the theories of the apparent conditioning. In his experiments, he showed that using the reward or punishments can increase the chance of the closest behaviors happenings against happenings to the shared learnings and trace behaviors. It can be applied in teaching by using the reward to encourage good behaviors and learning. Teachers can also use consequence like time out to read out unwanted behavior and help students improve. Bandula. Bandula was a physiologist. His series of observational learnings. He believed that people learn new behaviors by watching others and seeing the results of their actions. The teachers can demonstrate the cause actions or behaviorism and prove the immediate feedback. Students were the observer and him then the behaviorism to learn. Okay, in this the behaviorism-based music teaching case, the teachers use observational learning to help students learn the legato techniques on the pianos. They are how to the prose work. Observations phase. The teacher starts by showing videos of the famous pianist playing with a legato technique. Student was classy to see a pianist has movements, touch speed, and trance in pressure. The teachers impress the kids' poise as the watch. There is the help students connect the techniques with the movements they need to copy. Demonstrate phase. After the videos, the teachers demonstrate the legato techniques in person. They give students a chance to see the technique of class and provide the cleaned models from there to copy it. Watching the teachers have their understandings how to apply what they saw in video. Practice phase. Students try the legato technique on their own, using the videos and the teachers demonstrating as guides. They encourage students to copy what they see happening that practice and the technique. Feedback and reinforcement. When students practice, the teacher gives feedback. If students perform the techniques correctly, Their reservoir praise and the encouragement resonates then. If there are struggles, the teachers repeat the demonstrations or ask them to watch the videos again. Positive the feedback helps reinforce correct actions, making students more likely to repeat them. Fondness efforts evaluations. It makes it help students learn the legato technique quickly and effectively, watching the others' performers, making the process for more natural than just learning to the verbal instructions. Using the videos, demonstrations, and the feedback help students get better at the techniques most easy. They also have behaviorism ideas, such as the watching, copying, and the rewarding, can be used in music teaching to improve learning and performance. My past endings for the next one, Wang Kong Kong.
Hello everyone, I'm Wang Song and I'm going to talk about cognitivism. What is cognitivism? Firstly, cognitivism is a theory that sees learning as a mental process. It focuses on how people receive, process, store, and retrieve information. In this way, learning happens when learners' activity build their knowledge using mental structures called schemas. Schemas help organize and interpret new information by connecting it to what we are right now. Secondly, one key concept is knowledge constructions where learners build their understanding step by step, making sense of new ideas through think and reflections. Another is information policies, which explain how our brains handle information, from taking it into story into from letter use. Finally, cognitivism helps design lessons that focus on clear instruction, using visuals, example, and repetition to support understanding. It encourages teaching strategies like break things into smaller steps, encouraging connections to prior knowledge, and helping students think critically to stand their learning. Okay, so I'm going to use some for this repetition to explain these competencies. Okay, number one, Wolfgang Kohlers was a psychologist who believed that learning happens through insight or side understanding. In his chimpanzee stockings books experiment, he showed that chimpanzees solved problems by seeing the whole pictures, not through trial and error. Core belief learning involves creative mental structures called gesture to understand and solve the problem. So what is chimpanzee stacking box experiment? First, put the gorilla in the room, put the banana in the room, and there are books on the group. And if it was thoracic chimpanzees, it could always reach the banana. Thoracic emphasizes trying and trying, and the chimpanzees could try to reach the banana. And finally, he could die of exhaustion, but the chimpanzees couldn't reach it. Winston had an epiphany and put the two boxes together and reached the banana. Gestal in German, Gestal believe that learning is a whole and put forward the epiphany theory. Okay, Common thinks learning involves creative mental structures called gesture to understand and solve problems. So, how can we apply it to piano teaching? In piano teaching, we can learn from Carlos' point of view and exercise students' understanding of the overall structures of music, rather than relying only on mechanical repetition. By having students analyzing musical from melodical line and humanical logic, it helps the build a gesture, a goals, a global understanding of music. For example, in teaching, students are guided to solve technical and expression problems more effectively by insight into the relationship between melody and accompaniment, or the informational core or work. In this way, listening is no longer about blind trial and error, but about the integration of skills and art through insight. Number 2, Thomas Cognitivism's problem theory. What is mouse math experiment? There are 3 rows from the starting point to the ending point. The first row is the direct. The second row the turn. The 3 rows walk around a big circle. Set up a maze. Put the mouse to the starting point. Put foot at the ending point. Because the mouse went to its foot at the ending point, that is, learning is purposeful. want to eat food at the ending point. The mouse will take the nearest wheel. The second time, it is broken on the first row. The monster can't get through here. So the monster will go through 2, and if the second row is broken, the monster will go to row 3, and he called the mapper in the monster made a Constructivist mapper. So how can we apply it to piano teaching? Tormann's Cognitivism problems theory suggests that students can be guided to them by setting clear goals and purpose in piano teaching through study scores such as playing a complete piece of music. Students build a cognitivism mapper to understand the overall path of learning. When students encounter obstacles such as technical difficulties, the teacher guides them to explore other methods or practice strategies, such as slow practice or break up exercise in order to reach the final goal. This approach encourages students to take the initiative to solve the problem and promotes self-confidence and a sign of accomplishment through a clear learning pathing. Okay, that's the ending of my share. Thank you for listening. Please follow my camera. Let's choose next one.
Hello teacher, my name is Yang Lei. I will introduce the Constructivism theory. At the beginning, I will introduce what Constructivism is. First, learning is an active and constructive process. Second, learning is a process of constantly updating cognitive structures through assimilation and adaptation. And third, students build their own knowledge system through interaction and experience. This means that Constructivism is a theory of learning that sees students as active participants in their education. Learning is not just about receiving information, but it involves building knowledge through interaction, experience, and reflection. It's an ongoing process where students constantly update their understanding by connecting new ideas to what they already know. Next are three main concepts of constructivism: active, updating, and building. Active means that students will explore, question, and discover new ideas when they actively participate in the learning process. Updating means that learning occurs when students adjust and refine their understanding through experience, often by combining new information and prior knowledge. Building represents students who create their own body of knowledge that make learning personal and meaningful through interacting with others and their environment. So in class, Constructivism theory encourages students to conduct group discussions, problem-solving tasks, and hands-on projects to help students actively build their understanding, promote critical thinking, creativity, and deep learning. Next, I will briefly describe the knowledge view, learning view, and student view of Constructivism learning theory. In the Constructivism learning theory, the knowledge view has three characteristics: interpretive hypothesis, situatedness, and background of experience. This means that Constructivism will question the objectivity and certainty of knowledge under certain conditions, and knowledge is not an accurate representation of reality, nor is the final answer, but just a hypothesis. Student view emphasizes richness and difference. The richness shows that students need to feel the richness of the world. Differences indicate that different students feel the world to different degree. Each student has his own unique experience in their activities and interactions, and each student has his own interest and cognitive style. The learning view emphasizes the active construction of students, the interactivity of learning society, and situatedness of learning. The theory of construction doctrine has two representatives: Jean Piaget and Vygotsky. Jean Piaget cognitive constructivism believes that children should develop problem-solving skills through active participation and discovery. Teachers should provide challenges to encourage students to independently explore and find solutions, and develop students' critical thinking and learning skills through experience. Vygotsky's social constructivism emphasizes the importance of social interaction and culture in learning. Through guided discovery and cooperation, the students develop their knowledge. The key concepts include the zone of proximal development, where learners can achieve more with guidance, and scaffolding, where support is gradually reduced as skills know. In general, constructivism is built in the mind. Next, I will tell the story of fish and cattle to illustrate the characteristics of constructivism. There are a pair of friends, fish and frog. When the frog becomes tadpoles, fish and tadpoles, this pair of good friends swim in the water. Fish and tadpoles like to chat. Then tadpoles grew up, went to the shore. One day, when the frog returned to the water, the fish asked what the cow was like. When the frog had seen the cow, the frog said the cow had 2 horns, and the fish imagined the horse in the head. The frog said the cow ate grass, and the picture of cow ate grass was imagined in fish's head. The frog also said that the cow had a spot, and the fish imagined that the cow had a spot. Because the fish has never seen a cow, the cow in its brain is based on the fish. It can be seen that constructivism is constructed on the basis of their own knowledge. In the process of teaching, teachers will find that students with foundation master knowledge quickly, but students who without foundation, they accept knowledge slowly. Here are the practical cases of constructivism in music teaching. Next is the case background is in the middle school music classroom. The teacher designed a project of composing a theme song for campus life. Next is specific applications. Firstly, the teacher guided the students to review their existing music knowledge and experiences, including different music styles, rhythm types, and melody characteristics. This reflects the view of knowledge in constructivism. That is, knowledge is constructed based on the student's background of experiences. Secondly, the students had discussions in group, sharing their feelings and understandings of campus life and determining the theme and emotional tone of the theme song. Secondly, each group started to compose according to the results of the discussions. During the composition process, the students continuously tried different combinations of melodies, rhythms, and harmonies, and actively constructed the music works belonging to their own group. This reflects the active constructiveness of learning. All in all, through this project, the students not only improved their music composition abilities, but also cultivated the spirit of teamwork and critical thinking abilities. The students carried out music composition in a real situation, deeply experiencing the close connection between music and life, which conforms to the view of situated learning in constructivism. That's all about my speech.
Hello teachers, my name is Lu Wanyi. Let me move on to humanism. Humanism learning Humanistic learning theories is a physiological term that emerged in the United States in the 50s and 60s of the 20th century, and its main representatives are Maslow and Rogers. The humanities learning series is proposed. First, informed and unified view of teaching goals. And the second, meaningful and free learning. And the third, student-centered learning concept. The student-centered model, also known as the non-mentoring model, has the role of the teachers as the midwife or characters. Ways to build a good teacher-student relationship. Secretly, consistency, unconditional, positive attention, and empathy. The humanistic concept of learning and teaching has profoundly influenced the education reform around the world, and it is one of the 3% teaching movements in the 20th century, which is as famous as the program teaching movement and the discipline structure movement. Humanistic learning through is based on humanistic psychological. Humanists advocated that psychology should study people as a whole, rather than dismembering people's psychology into incomplete parts, and should study normal people and should pay more attention to people's advanced psychological activities, such as assessment, belief, life, dignity. The humanities learning through explains the whole growth process of learners from the perspective of a person, education to develop human nature. Focus on enlightening learners' express and creative potential, guiding them to combine cognition and express, affirm themselves, and then self-realize. Humanistic learning there focus on how to create a good environment for learners to practice the work from their own perspective, develop an understanding of the world, and reach the highest level of self-realization. Humanistic physiology. Humanistic psychology is the third force in the field of psychology that is different from psychologics and behaviorism, advocating to understand human psychology from people direct express and internal feeling. Impacting people nature, digniting ideas and interest is believing that people's self-realization and creation in order to achieve goals are the determining of people's behavior.
Rogers, the representative of humanism and theology, believes that human beings have an innate desire and the potential to learn, which is a trustworthy psychological tendency that can be released under the right condition. When students understand that the learning content is related to their own need, the motivation to learn is most easily stimulated. Learning is better in an environment where there is a sense of psychological safety. According to Rogers, the teacher's task is not to teach students knowledge or to teach students how to learn knowledge, but to provide students with the means to learn that, and it is up to students to decide how they should learn. The role of teachers should be that of the facilitator of student learning. And next is about Maslow. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is usually presented in the form of a pyramid with the most basic needs located at the bottom of the pyramid. From the above bare introduction, it can be seen that different schools of learning theories emphasize different aspects of learning. In fact, such differences are often caused by difference in the research background on which they are based, such as the difficulty of the learning task, the organization of the learning material. If we analyze them carefully, we will be able to find their commonalities and the intrinsic connections between the various theories. True behavior often exists in the middle of the two extremes. When studying the learning series of various factions, we should pay attention to avoid going to extremes and explore the reasonable factors in various learning series for our own use, which is the correct attitude. And here is an example. The background is in the music club of primary and secondary school. Students should show a strong interest in pipa. However, their teamwork skills and comprehensive music literally need to be further developed. In this example, Humanism learning series emphasis and the development and the self-realization of human potential. Emphasize students' meaningful learning, all-around development, subjective state, and emotion cognitivism. Promote learning, innovative and creative play, and advocated that education is to cultivate mentally healthy and creative people and enable each student to achieve the best state within his or her ability. Its credible concepts mainly include believing that good interpersonal relationship are an important condition for effective learning, especially the root of Rogers' advocacy of equality between teachers and students, truthfulness, respect, and understanding. In passing the subjective status of students. In passing, students need interest, emotion, and value, and advocating the use of emotional teaching. Advocating the cultivation of people's health, personality, so that students can obtain more dignity, more freedom, happier, and more valuable, and achieve the fulfillment of spiritual life and the self-improvement. Taking the cultivation of students' creativity as the goal of education, we believe that everyone has creatively and creative potential, and take free creation as a highest goal of life. Acting importance to the influence of the environment on students, we advocate providing a good learning atmosphere of a relaxing freedom and trust for student learnings, and providing students with rich learning resources. That's my part. And next, move on, 陈锦江.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Chen Jinjiang. The teaching theory I'm going to share is the Confucian education thought. First of all, what is the Confucian education thought? It's an education theory from China. The Confucian education thought was founded by Confucius. He lived in the spring and autumn period in China from 551 BC to 479 BC. Facing to the social situation where read and music were in a state of collapse at that time. He tried to resort the rights and promote the thought of benevolence to rebuild social order. Confucius taught in disciples and gave lecture throughout his life, and his thoughts gradually spread through the inheritance of his disciples. Confucian education focuses on morality and spread concepts such as benevolence, recklessness, and aiming to cultivate gentlemen with noble virtues and a strong sense of responsibility. At attaches great importance to the study of classical. Through the inheritance of Asian cultural knowledge. Wisdom is inspired, accumulating knowledge results for the development of individual and social and society. It carry out targeted education according to the future and needs of students, gives full play to their advantage, stimulates their potential, promotes their all-round development, and realize their values. Okay, when it comes to the Confucian education thought, the first person we think of must be Confucius. He is not only the founder of Confucianism, but also a master of it. He has the following five education propositions. The first one, 有教无类. That means everyone has the right to education. When it comes to music teaching, it means that all children have the right to receive music education. The second one, 因材施教. That means get to know the student based on their different personalities and feature, and offer appropriate teaching in the purpose of children's learning music, especially when choosing musical instrument. It is necessary to make the choice according to the specific situation of each child. The third one, 实事求是. This means when you know a thing, to hold that you know it, and when you don't know a thing, to allow that you do not know it. This is knowledge. In the process of learning music, you must be responsible for yourself and never pretend to understand when you actually don't. The first one, 知行合一. That means learning without things lead to confusion, that seeing without learning ends in danger. In the process of learning music skills, one must be diligent in thinking and understand the specific functions of practice rather than simply practicing blindly. The last one, 学以致用. This means it is known that artisans stay in their workshops to complete their work. Likewise, a man of noble character should study to attain the way. After mastering a music skill, be sure to use it infinitely. During the process of using it, you can also summarize new experiences. This is also what is meant by 温故而知新, reviewing the old and learn the new. Okay, the next representative thing that had to the mentioned is methods. In terms of learning methods, the that one should pressure in depth, study and attain knowledge on one's own. That is to say, learning should be practical and one should understand the true essence of knowledge by oneself. Moreover, one should persevere as he put it, those who are uh, determined to achieve something are like those who are doing a wheel. If they dig knee meter deep but still don't reach the spring water, it is still regarded as a abundant will. In the process of learning music, students uh, should take the initiative to learn inside of learn passively. After practicing a piece of audio, they should actively consult their teachers to ask if there are still any problems or what the takes for the next stage are. Okay, the last representative figure is Xunzi. He is also one of my favorite educators and thinkers. He has that view that human nature is evil at the very beginning. His education theory is somewhat similar to uh, constructivism. He attached great importance to the accumulation of knowledge and the systematic nature of learning. In the chapter encouraging learning, he used the metaphor that accumulating a earth make a mountain, where wind and rain and are stirred accumulating water from an abyss. He also put forward the where that individual blue is extract from the individual plant, yet it is bluer than the plant itself. Encourage encouraging students to pass their teacher through learning. Finally, I'd like to share the following with you all. Practical case of Confucian education ecology in music teaching. Let's assume such a big background. In a choir teaching in primary and secondary school, students have problems such as poor teamwork and insufficient experiences, especially apprehension. During rehearsals with students to put like the competence of harmony without uniformity in confusion. They should learn to listen to others and make adjustments and jointly discuss the agreement of choral piece to cultivate teamwork spirit and corrective. Combines those teaching by explain the historical background and the scene teacher practice of choral music. Invite professional choral conductors to give lecture and demonstrations. Analyze the statements related to music in Confucian classical to enhance students' comprehensive musical qualities. Finally, ethical evaluation. It improves students' teamwork ability and comprehensive musical qualities. Enhances their singing level and strengthens their understanding and love for choir arts and Confucian culture. Okay, that's it. That's the end of my sharing. Thank you for your listening.
The above are the 5 educational theories of our group. Each theory has its own characteristics in practical application. We will teach these 5 educational theories in combination so as to better adapt to the contemporary educational environment. Thank you for your listening. OK。哎呦我操！
彩地鹏在9楼给我拍了张照，然后跟我说你男神。
谁啊？
谁男生？
是谁啊？
这是不是就是那个
是谁啊？
那个叫什么？